ShartimusPrime. Reading comics, toys are hella sick, hella whacking it. Taking bad hits, taking back hits. Subscribe.
And then neither of these guns right here are actually removable. That's a bit frustrating. I hate that. What's up, you guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another book review. I've actually never done a book review. This is something that's very different. This is called the Avengers Vault over here. I want to thank Marvel and I want to thank Media Masters for making this review possible. This is basically a rundown, a brief rundown on the big four characters from the Avengers and the Avengers themselves. So this is really for people that haven't read through all the Silver Age comics. Basically, if you've been watching the movies and you've been really enjoying the Marvel Cinematic Universe, then I highly recommend that you pick this up so you can learn a bit about the characters from their origins, from their actual origins in the comics. And I think this is great because I'm pretty familiar with the big four characters that they talk about in here: Captain America, Thor, Iron Man, and Hulk. But I still learned some things from reading this, and I found it actually very, very entertaining. It's written by comic writer Peter David, which is really cool to get the perspective from Peter David, especially when it gets to the Hulk. Each chapter kind of ends with a little envelope that comes with a couple of goodies, mostly posters and things like that. And this is just basically how the inside of it looks. You get a lot of pictures for reference and stuff, and it just was a very good read. So looking at the Avengers chapter of this thing, a couple of things I found were interesting were the Avengers are actually inspired by DC Comics' Justice League of America. So a lot of people know that, some of you don't, but that's the reason why the Avengers came about in the first place, you know, just out of competition. Something else I thought was kind of funny that I already did know was that Captain America, especially he's called the first Avenger, was not the first Avenger at all. He didn't come into the Avengers until issue 4, so I thought that was pretty funny. So for the Avengers chapter, we get these two little pieces right over here. This one right here, this one's an ad for Avengers number 3, originally printed in Avengers number 2. Iron Man's armor would change between the issues, art by Jack Kirby. Then this one right here is the 1978 Avengers Roster, art by John Buscema. That's Black Widow with that mask over there. A couple of things I really liked from the Captain America section of the book was that Captain America really tried to keep his secret identity. Like, he really went just by Steve Rogers, and then he was Captain America when he was out doing his heroics. And then another thing that I thought was really interesting that I did not know also was that there was a lot of Captain Americas, like way back in the day. Like right now, just since I've been, like, I really got back into reading about in 2003. So, you know, in that time, I've seen Hawkeye as Captain America, I've seen Bucky as Captain America, and then now Falcon is Captain America. And I didn't know that that was happening way back then too. What I also really like about this book too is that they get into explanations of each of the villains for each of the heroes. There's a little MODOK section that just reads about MODOK. There's a little Crossbones section that just reads about Crossbones. So it's really cool you get read-ups on the villains too. And the goodies that we get with the Captain America chapter are the Authentic Sentinels of Liberty fan club membership card from 1941 and John Romita's original cover art and color guide for Captain America number 14. I like this little card thing. It's actually pretty cool. Hey, signed by Sean Long's brother, Ralph. Now, reading the chapter on Thor, for me, I think was probably the most educational. There's just a lot of little things about Thor that I really liked. First off, Thor was created or brought into the Marvel Universe as a response to Superman. So that was basically Marvel's answer to Superman. I did not know that. There's this one part of the chapter where they give you a rundown on all the things that his hammer, Mjolnir, can actually do. And I never knew that if you hit a vampire with Mjolnir, the vampire will burst into flames. Basically because it's a religious artifact, so that's why. And for this chapter, we get the 1985 poster promoting Thunder Frog, aka Throg, art by Walt Simonson, and then an original guide from Avengers number 309, art by Paul Ryan, Tom Palmer, and Christy Shield. A couple of things I liked from the Iron Man chapter. First off, I did not know that Tony Stark was the adopted son of Howard Stark. I thought, especially with the movies and everything, you know, we see Howard Stark as a technological genius, Tony Stark's technological genius. That actually really misled me. I didn't know that Tony was adopted. Another thing I thought was really cool too is that both Hawkeye and Black Widow were introduced into the Marvel Universe through Iron Man. So I thought that was really cool too. And there's also this section over here that talks about the different armors that Iron Man wore. Not every single one of them, but a lot of the big ones. No Hulkbuster though. And for this chapter, we get the All About Iron Man special featurette from Tales of Suspense number 55, art by Don Heck. Hey, look at that pepper. boss, right? Really good looking pepper boss. And we also get Jack Kirby's original art from Avengers #1, showing Iron Man intercepting Loki's decoy distress call. And then the last Avenger is my favorite Avenger, the Hulk. They quoted Jack Kirby in the book that the inspiration, the idea for the Hulk came from Jack Kirby seeing a woman lift a car because her baby was stuck under the running board of the car. Like, I guess adrenaline kicked in, and this woman lifted the car to rescue her baby. And Jack, seeing that, was like, oh wow, you know, anybody could do that. Like, if under the right circumstances, an individual can tear down a house. So that's where that came from, which I thought was really cool. Then another factoid that I thought was very interesting was that the Incredible Hulk book only lasted 6 issues, man. Canceled after 6 issues, the Hulk was. Damn it. I had no idea that had happened. Then one thing Peter David points out here are the flaws involved in the origin story of the Hulk. Like, why was Dr. Banner out there rescuing Rick Jones? Like, there's plenty of soldiers around to do that. It comes with this 1976 originally illustrated art by Jack Kirby, which was his last art piece for Marvel Comics. And we also get the original Imperial pencil art by Lionel Yu for pages 12 to 13 of Indestructible Hulk #1. And these things are awesome. I actually want to get one of them framed. Of course, this being the Hulk, he came with the biggest posters than any of the other heroes. So this has been my new coffee table book. I think this is a great read. I think everybody should get a hold of this. If you're not already familiar with the origins of these heroes, I really think you should get this. I really enjoyed reading it. Anyway, that's my review, guys. I hope you liked it. If you did, please hit the subscribe button right over there by my Avengers. And don't forget to go to marvelousnews.com for high-res images of all these posters and everything. I'll have them up over there. Alright, I'll catch you guys later. Peace. I think this thing was really well